What if your toddler's screen time could be transformed from a source of guilt into a strategic parenting tool? Hello, my name is Marcy, and welcome to Establishing Your Balance. Today, I'm breaking down the exact system I use to manage screen time with my second daughter while working from home full time. It's true, I said that right. More on how I worked with my older daughter at home later. These are the tools I used with my youngest daughter. This isn't about eliminating screens. It's about transforming them into a valuable tool that works for your family's unique situation. I'm also sharing the content evaluation checklist that completely changed our screen time quality. So stay with me as I reveal the system that transformed our chaos into calm. The reality of mom guilt and screen time chaos. Have you ever been on an important work call when your toddler had a complete meltdown because their show ended? Let me tell you about my breaking point. I was finishing a crucial deadline email reply while being bombarded with "Mom, Mom, Mom!" While fighting the "just 1 second, darling," I realized her TV timer turned off. I just knew I had enough time, but I didn't. What followed was a full-scale toddler meltdown, with her sobbing face climbing up into my lap demanding more Bluey. Despite my attempts to stay focused to finish the last sentence, I needed to shift my focus to her. That moment made me question everything about my parenting choices. Was I damaging my daughter's development with too much screen time? Was I failing at both my job and motherhood simultaneously, not being able to balance it anymore? I remember how my oldest daughter used to be content with me in the office with her own activities, toys, pretending to do her own work. But where did I go wrong with my second daughter? Why wasn't this as easy? I learned I wasn't alone in the struggle. Research and other mother stories echoed my own. Studies show 79% of 2-year-olds exceed recommended screen time limits. When I started talking openly with other working moms, I discovered we were all facing the same impossible situation. Another working mom that I spoke with recently shared similar experiences, noting how screen time affected her daughter's ability to play independently and focus. Many of us exist in a constant state of conflict between competing advice, pediatricians telling us absolutely no screen time, versus the practical reality of needing to meet deadlines and function as working professionals. The judgment only intensifies the guilt from other parents at the playground, from perfectly curated social media accounts, and from well-meaning pediatricians who don't fully understand our daily reality. So this creates a cycle, using screens when work demands it, feeling terrible afterwards, swearing off screens entirely, then inevitably returning to them when deadlines loom. I found myself caught in this exhausting cycle for months until I had an important realization. Screen time isn't inherently good or bad. It's our approach to it that matters for our children's development. So, are you also drowning in mom guilt over your toddler's screen time while you work? You're not alone. And the solution isn't eliminating screens. It's creating a strategic approach that works for your unique situation. So, how do we create your screen time quality framework? What if I told you that not all screen time is created equal? The difference between harmful and helpful digital content might surprise you. When I first started to notice my youngest daughter wasn't entertaining herself like her older sister while I was working, I was desperate for anything that would buy me focus time between educational shows, her favorite movie of the week, or fast-paced cartoons. I didn't think twice about what was actually playing on that screen, but then I noticed concerning patterns. My previously patient toddler, who used to get bored with TV after 15 minutes, seemed constantly restless, jumping between activities without settling. She became irritable when the TV wasn't on, and those peaceful transitions I'd worked so hard to establish, gone. At first, I blamed typical toddler development, but as I began to explore what experts advise, research pointed to something different. The actual content she was consuming mattered tremendously. Understanding the difference between passive and interactive screen time is crucial. Passive screen time means your child simply watches without engaging, those hypnotic cartoon compilations playing back to back. However, interactive screen time encourages participation, answering questions, solving problems, or making choices that affect what happens next. The developmental impacts are dramatically different. Children with excessive passive screen time often exhibit shorter attention spans, difficulty transitioning, and increased irritability. Quality interactive content can actually support development when chosen carefully. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends no screen time under 18 months and 1 hour daily for ages 2 to 5. I know these guidelines can feel impossible with work deadlines, but the key is maximizing the quality of whatever screen time does happen. So here's my practical contact evaluation checklist that I mentioned. Assess pacing. Slower pace shows give children time to process the information. Look for genuine educational value appropriate for your child's stage. Consider interactive elements that invite response rather than passive consumption. Ensure age appropriateness content slightly above their level can be stimulating without causing them to tune out. We have come to really enjoy the leapfrog phonics. My 3.5-year-old is much more advanced at letters and numbers than our oldest was at this age. But to me personally, I consider that a win-win. When selecting content, align it with your child's interests and developmental goals. For language skills, choose shows with clear dialogue. For social emotional learning, look for programs showing characters navigating feelings and relationships. Next, building your screen time boundary system. Carefully selected content only gets you halfway there, though. Ever noticed that your child can happily turn off a show one day, but the next day the exact same scenario leads to tears and tantrums? Without a solid routine, screen time turned into unpredictable chaos in my home. I discovered the missing piece wasn't just better shows. It was a consistent boundary system that made screen time feel safe and predictable. Some days I'd mute myself to whisper, 5 more minutes, honey, during a client call, only to be met with a complete meltdown when time was up. Other days, she'd happily transition to coloring when her show ended. This inconsistency made planning my workday impossible. I never knew if screen time would buy me peace or create chaos. Children crave predictability, especially around highly stimulating activities like screens. Their developing brains are still learning to manage transitions, and when boundaries shift daily, it creates genuine anxiety. The uncertainty of when screen time will end and if they'll get to watch it again creates those explosive reactions we as parents dread. The solution that transformed our home was implementing 3 core elements of an effective boundary system: consistent timing, clear transition cues, and integrating screen time into her predictable routine. Visual timers became our secret weapon. For a toddler who doesn't understand abstract concepts like 5 more minutes, seeing time disappear provides concrete understanding. I use a type of time timer app for kids, which displays an image that gradually vanishes, like an ice cube melting away, or an image slowly appearing. My daughter can literally watch screen time winding down, eliminating the shock of sudden endings. Our routine starts with a specific verbal cue. It's screen time. When the red timer disappears, screen time is all done. This creates security. She knows exactly what to expect. When the timer ends, we have another cue. Screen time is all done. Now it's time for whatever's next. And I name the next activity. The bridge activity technique works best for us. Something that gently transitions from passive watching to active engagement. Remember how Daniel the tiger cleaned up his toys? Now it's our time to clean up too. Next, your emergency work from home screen strategy. Just when you've mastered your daily screen time routine, reality throws you a curveball, an urgent client crisis or surprise team meeting that can't wait. I discovered that these emergency situations often led to panic-induced screen time that left me feeling doubly guilty. Let me share the system that changed everything for my family. This was the day my boundary system met its match. My daughter was happily playing with her blocks when my phone lit up with a team chat that all hands are needed on deck. Of course, my husband had already left for school pickup for our oldest, so I grabbed the tablet, found the longest show possible, and hoped for the best. The meeting stretched to almost an hour, leaving my daughter cranky and resistant to ending her unexpected screen time. That experience taught me I needed an emergency strategy that preserved our boundaries. Having a pre-planned approach actually reduces overall screen time because panic leads to overcompensation. A strategic system allows you to provide exactly what's needed, transforming chaotic screen panic into calm, purposeful solutions. Here's how I saved my sanity. The Work Emergency Box. This special container holds novel activities that appear exclusively during unexpected work situations. My daughter's eyes light up when she sees that red box because it contains treasures reserved for these special circumstances. The real magic comes from my 3-tier emergency approach. Tier 1, under 20 minutes. Exclusively non-screen activities from the emergency box. Water beads in sealed containers, special coloring books with washable window markers, or magnet tiles. Tier 2, 20 to 45 minutes. This is a combination of a novel activity with limited high-quality screen content that we've pre-selected together. Tier 3, rare true emergencies. Longer screen time sessions with scheduled breaks and content variety. The secret to making this work? Practice during non-emergency times. We actually role play Mommy's emergency work meeting so my daughter understands what happens when the red box appears. I use specific language. I have an important call that wasn't planned. This is special emergency time, and I need your help while I finish my meeting. In conclusion, here's the thing about parenting in the digital age. There's no perfect approach to screen time. And you know what? That's actually good news. The concept of good enough parenting reminds us that we don't need to achieve perfection when managing our children's screen time. A quick story before we go. I once asked my girls, "What is your favorite family time activity?" I was thinking they would say the park, picnics, swimming, going to the museum, anything from our Adventure Day activities. Nope. They both lit up. One of the rare times they actually agreed together. And my oldest said, family movie night. I asked them, why? My youngest said, popcorn. My oldest said, I always know the movies to pick that relax you, Mommy. Translation: I usually fall asleep during family movie night. Major mom guilt hit me. But she just described the nights that I have nothing left to give. I am exhausted mentally and physically. Those nights aren't my best. I'm sleeping during family time, but to them, it's a complete treat. And my daughter feels amazing that she knows just how to relax me. When I finally embraced their mindset and changed my negative thought pattern, everything changed. I moved from a sea of guilt to a harbor of calm, intentional choices. Rather than seeing screens as the enemy, I began viewing them as tools that, when used thoughtfully, support both my work needs and my child's development, and even my own sanity at the end of a long week. Now we all get super excited for family movie nights, and I no longer feel the guilt of needing the rest and also no longer feel guilty when I fall asleep. Research confirms that children develop resilience through intentional screen time decisions. If you're ready to replace guilt with strategy, please like this video and subscribe. Also, check out my other video, Work from Home Like a Pro, even with a little one in tow, for more ideas on non-screen independent play when you're working. In this journey of motherhood, we're all just doing our best, and that's more than enough. You are awesome, and I appreciate your support, and I enjoyed you stopping by for a bit. Make sure to also come visit me at establishingyourbalance.com for more information. We'll chat again soon. Bye-bye.